Hey, St. John. Welcome to the Post-Sermon Podcast. I am Deaconess Dahlia, and with me right now is Pastor Adam.
Hi, Deaconess. We are in a van.
We are in a van driving back from the LCMS Youth Gathering in New Orleans. We're a few hours out now from Ohio, and we thought this would be a great time to record an episode. This is an Around the Sermon episode.
Yep, no sermon to review today.
Nope, but we are with our 5 youth, and we thought we could talk about this big gathering. So tell me, Pastor, what is the LCMS Youth Gathering?
Yeah, the youth gathering has been going on, since the 80s? Is that right?
Yeah, I think it started 1980 was the first one.
Yeah, and every 3 years, thousands upon thousands of youth and adult leaders and church workers get together in a city for about 5 days of Bible study, fellowship, worship, and it's always kind of centered around a theme. And so it's quite an undertaking. There's about 20,000 in attendance for this gathering, and just to think about a city taking an influx of 20,000 people, mostly high schoolers, in a lot of ways we kind of take over the town, and it's incredible that we pull this off as a church body. And fun fact, it happens to be, every gathering, every 3 years, it is the single largest gathering of a group of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. And so we run into a lot of familiar faces and friends, and we meet people from all across the country and beyond.
And fun fact that we found out while we were in New Orleans is crime rates in New Orleans actually go down when our gathering is happening.
Yeah, that was our officials have to work with the city, police departments, all that, and so yeah, we want to have a net positive effect on whatever city we happen to be in that week, and that is one of those positive effects in addition to servant events and other sorts of things too.
Yeah, so can you tell us, what is the purpose of this gathering?
I think the purpose of the gathering is an opportunity, especially geared towards our high school youth, to spend intentional time reflecting on the faith, knowing that high school, the end of your childhood years and heading into adulthood, this is a really pivotal time in the life of a Christian. And just thinking, from the local youth group all the way up to the synod as a whole, we care about these youth, and we want them to hear the good news of Christ and to trust that gospel promise all the days of their lives. Even just thinking back to some of our planning meetings, some of the parents of the youth on our trip were recalling their time going to the youth gathering as well, and how important that was for them way back when.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that. What about yourself? You've been to a few gatherings. What number is this for you?
This happens to be my 5th, but I never went as a youth. It's always been as a chaperone or as a pastor. And so it's my 4th with St. John, and I went to one prior to that.
Okay, and for myself, I did get to go as a youth. It would have been 2007 gathering in Orlando. And I do remember it being a really special experience. And I had been thinking about church work before the gathering, but I do think after that week, I was definitely really on that path of wanting to be a deaconess. So it was just really formative for me. And I think that's something they really try to push for the youth, is to consider church work if that's a vocation that God may be calling you.
Yeah. And so just as we want our youth to be Christians all their lives, this is a huge gathering of our synod and their officials and even the Concordia universities. And so there's a lot of discussion about that, have you considered church work or serving as a missionary, or we had, Lutheran Bible translators, for instance, was there.
Yeah.
There are a lot of, the church is much bigger than just the local congregation, and the youth gathering is one of those sort of flashpoints for it, just to see the bigness of, all the saints and this cloud of witnesses, and kind of getting to the gathering theme itself.
Yeah. Well, let's tell them what the theme was for this year's gathering.
Yeah, it's from Hebrews 12.
Yeah, do you want me to read that for us?
Sure.
Real quick? Okay, this is Hebrews 12, 1 through 3. Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured from sinners such hostility against himself, so that you may not grow weary or faint-hearted. And so, key word, if you will, was endure.
Yep.
It was just everywhere, and like definitely in the teaching and the Bible study, even in many of the sessions, right? They would bring up that theme.
Our Savior who endured the cross for us, and it was done out of his joy and his love for us. And that enables us to endure whatever comes in life as well. And endure the theme of this past gathering.
Yeah, one other thing I thought we could mention about the gathering was all of the volunteers that are part of it to really make this possible.
Incredible volunteers.
We have young adult volunteers. We call them YAVs.
And they're always in orange.
They're always in orange.
And they're the most energetic people of the entire gathering.
Yeah, there's about 500 of them. And they pay their way to get to the gathering early, and they just really put all of themselves into making sure it goes smoothly and helping in like everything. I mean, you don't ever not see a YAV.
Yeah, and just not to miss, you said there was 500 of them?
Yeah, I think so, around 500.
Yeah, and again, these are college kids. These are often students, young adults who have been at previous gatherings and want to sort of share that joy and experience with, the next sort of era of youth. And we had a couple of members from our congregation that were YAVs this go around, so we should give a couple of shout outs.
Yeah, so shout out to Catherine Pataniak.
This was her first time as a YAV.
First time, and then Madison Hoshak, and this was her second time.
Yes, and she was kind of like spending a second time. She got to kind of do a little bit more oversight of the YAVs.
Exactly. So we actually got to meet up with them for, we got to have a meal together and got to see them a few times throughout the gathering, and that was really cool to have them there.
Yeah, so pretty cool St. John presence throughout the gathering. And then in addition to the young adult volunteers, there are a huge number of adults, and the names have changed over the course of the gatherings, but I think they're called ambassadors now. And these are like the YAVs, they're just giving up of their time, their vacation, out of their pocket to be in the city, and they are there to help direct traffic, help ensure that we're safe, coordinate with the police, and just sort of just be these resources throughout the gathering. There's even a kind of a subset of the adults called the care team. You saw them walking around Deaconess. And they're there to kind of provide counseling and care, and depending on the sort of topics that may come up in session. And it's pretty special to see our church body looking after each other, and the gathering is one of the best ways that you get to see it.
Yeah, and I mean, I was just thinking one way that the volunteers really looked after us was on Tuesday morning. Westboro Church had a protest going on outside our convention center. You want to talk a little bit about that experience? Yeah,
Chloe's our other youth leader that joined us on the trip, and she and I went to kind of the morning meeting for the adult leaders, just kind of a debrief and what to know for the day, and they're giving updates about this and that. And then they said, just so you know, there's a protest this morning, and we had a notification go out in our gathering communications as well. The Westboro Baptist Church got a permit to protest outside the New Orleans Convention Center. And just kind of how do we need to approach, heading to the convention center that day, and just kind of preparing our youth for that. And it was pretty special to see how many YAVs and the adult ambassadors kind of in between the protesters and us, welcoming us to the convention center that day, and just we're here to share the good news of Christ who died for sinners, and that's the focus of the gathering, and to override such false teaching that comes from other places.
Good. Anything else you would like to just bring up about the gathering before Chloe and I talk a bit?
I really look forward to each go around with the gathering, right? It's every 3 years, because it kind of takes that much planning, not only at the local but national level, to pull this off. And every gathering experience is different. And I'm just really grateful for the group that we had. I'm grateful for Chloe, teaming up with us as our adult leader. And as we make our way back to Columbus, I was going to say, I'm really grateful for the week that was spent together.
Oh, great. Well, thank you, Pastor. So now Chloe and I are going to talk a little bit about the gathering in New Orleans. Hey, everyone. So with me right now is Chloe Hines, and actually the whole youth gathering group is with us too right now.
We are live from somewhere in Kentucky right now on the way back.
We're in the van right now. Pastor Adam's driving, and we decided to record our podcast episode here. Yeah, again, to tell you guys about the youth gathering and our trip in New Orleans. So we want to start out and tell them, like,
let's tell them who's all with us on this trip. So, of course, we have Pastor Adam and Deaconess Dahlia, myself, and then we have 5 youth who joined us, 4 from our own congregation. We have Joey Reedy and CJ Taliska, Ava Rogers, and Lydia Roden. And then Joey's cousin, actually, Abby, wanted to join us, and she came all the way from Colorado to Dublin, drove with us to New Orleans, and then we're doing the reverse.
And unfortunately, her travel is not almost done, because when she gets to Dublin, she's going to have to go back to Colorado, I think, the next day.
But it's been a really, really good group.
It's been a good trip, yeah. We started out, we have this 15-passenger van, and we did the trip in 2 days, 14 hours total. Stayed the night in Birmingham, Alabama, and then finished the trip and made it to New Orleans on Saturday.
Yes.
And checked into our hotel.
We had enough time to do some sightseeing.
Yep.
Yes. In Birmingham, we visited a little part of the Civil Rights Trail where they marched. That was pretty cool. And then we did the World War II Museum when we got to New Orleans. And then we went straight into gathering stuff. So why don't we talk through like a little general schedule, what we did every day during the gathering?
So every night there was a mass event, which means all 20,000 participants in the gathering got together in the Superdome. And there were speakers, and there would be music.
And fun little interlude games and stuff.
Fun little games
to engage the crowd.
Yeah, just to be able to have everyone together, which seems like an impossible thing with 20,000 people, but we were able to do it every night.
Yeah, it was really cool to be in the Superdome every night. And we had different seats every night, so we kind of got to see the whole thing from different angles. We got to be on the floor one night, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and everyone, I mean, maybe not everyone, but a lot of groups will wear like the same t-shirt every day, and so you'll just see this different church group all varying in size from our group of 8 to groups.
There were groups of like 200 or something.
Yeah, like 150, 200, and then everywhere in between. And you would see people holding up like these poles with like a sign. There are a lot of pastors' faces on
big
or
posters,
different things like
super
that.
Fun. Pastor Adam was really jealous that we didn't have that.
Next time. And so you would see that, and everyone's high-fiving each other and just asking each other where they're from, and definitely didn't feel like you're meeting strangers. Everyone kind of, you're in it together, and we would see people we would know too, which was fun.
Yeah, so we had Mass Event, and then we had Mass Event Plus.
Yep, Mass Event Plus.
We had 2 Mass Event Plus, with basically that's just an added bonus fun thing, which in this case were 2 concerts. We had one Sunday night and one Monday night. So, Deaconess, who came Sunday?
Sunday night was Flame. If you don't know
For those
Flame,
of you who don't know, check him out. Flame is a Lutheran rapper. He's amazing.
He's actually written 2 books that were published by Concordia Publishing House, and he actually spoke before the Mass Event Plus.
Yes.
And then he performed.
And we now have some rap fans in our group.
Yep.
I don't think we did before.
I don't think so.
This is great.
We made them listen to some of his music before the concert. And then Monday night, you want to tell us?
We got to see Rend Collective. So they're a group from Ireland, and they had a really great stage presence too. It was fun, and we had floor seats that night, so that was pretty epic to be a part of that concert. And I think the kids all really enjoyed that one for sure.
They really did. And then let's talk about what happened the rest of the days before the mass events.
Yeah. So every day there were different sessions throughout the day on different topics that the youth could go to. There were ones for the guys only, girls only. They were on a variety of topics.
Yeah, so
For instance, for the ladies who are listening who did Bierman's Work and Playbook, he did a session on that, and there were lots of other options too.
yeah. And then in addition to the sessions, they have an interactive center, which is this huge space with a bunch of different booths and like
Fun stuff.
to do. So the kids are really excited to get like free swag. You can go to the different booths and they have like maybe t-shirts or hats.
Yeah. So a
or-
bunch of different Lutheran organizations and like the Concordias all had booths there.
Yeah.
And then there were different service projects and like crafts and stuff to just engage with.
And they even had like games. I mean, there
They
was
did.
ultimate frisbee,
pickleball. Yes.
Twister.
Giant twister, yeah, on the whole floor. They had a dance floor, they had karaoke.
Yeah.
It was
They had
fun
all the
time.
comfort dogs.
All
Or
the comfort
maybe
dogs.
not all, but a lot
Most
of them
of
were
the
there.
comfort dogs were there, yeah.
So just different things like that where, yeah, like you mentioned the Concordias, like it's all these organizations are trying to like get the word out and interact with the youth of our synod. And that, you know, if you're not going to synod or if you're not going to a session, you can go to the interactive center and you just can go in and out as often as you would like. Or even buying books, like Concordia Publishing House was there too, and different authors were there to sign books.
Yeah, we also did some additional things outside of the gathering schedule. So you'll probably hear from the youth in a bit about this, but it was actually Joey's birthday on Tuesday, the day we were there, and so we did a little fun escape room as a group together. And yes, we did escape, for those who were wondering.
Yeah, with like 7 minutes to spare.
Yeah. So that was fun. We also got to be a part of the Ohio District event, and so that was after a mass event on Tuesday. We got to go out on a riverboat, and it was a riverboat jazz cruise. So we just got to enjoy some food and drinks and just hang out on a boat for an hour with all of the Ohio District peeps. So
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
And then something else, on our way to New Orleans, we got to stop at a Buc-ee's, which is really fun. If you don't know what a Buc-ee's is, it's like a really, really big convenience store. They boast that they have the world's cleanest restrooms.
And they do.
And they do. And the kids are really excited. They even had like a Buc-ee's mascot there. Got to take pictures with them.
Yes, they got to meet Bucky.
And we got t-shirts for the group too. So that was cool. One of our days we got to wear those. And then yeah, overall, I guess it was just really great that we could bond as a group. The road trip, yes, it was long, but it was really fun to play games during it. Like what was your favorite
Deaconess-
game we played?
So we played lots of rounds of the ABC game, but Deaconess also got us playing, what's it called? That's My Cow.
That's My Cow. So
Yeah, the kids got really into that. I'm sure
do I explain it?
you're really
No.
proud. You don't have to explain it.
Yeah, they got really into it.
We also found, the license plates, how many?
Oh, the license plate. We found 35 or 36 states.
So far.
So far.
TBD
But we're
on
still
if we find
driving,
any more.
so I haven't seen any others yet. But I think that's one of the great things about these trips is you're spending a week with one another. Very little time by yourself, but through that you get to have
to
a lot
know
of
people
great
well.
inside jokes
Yes.
and get to know people in a way you don't get to know them on Sunday mornings.
It's been really fun. Yeah,
Gonna
in
ask-
a little bit you'll hear from our youth about some things, but we're going to answer the same questions we're making them answer to.
Yeah. So what is a memory that you'll never forget?
I'm trying to make it be like super deep, but truly it's probably just going to be Joey's embarrassment at how many times we sang him happy birthday.
Yeah,
That was pretty epic. Yeah. It was pretty cool. But
Right.
also just like the sheer amount of people we had a divine, we didn't talk about the divine service.
Oh yeah.
on
Well, that was
Wednesday.
really my memory. I never forget.
Well,
but
we can share it. So we had a divine service on Wednesday morning before everyone left, and that was really, really cool to see 20,000 people gathered together, worshiping, singing, taking communion. They had like a gathering choir and symphony too that played for us, so the music was just incredible.
yeah, Matthew Harrison, the president of the synod, preached for us. And yeah, it was just, I mean, there are very few times in life, if ever, you get to say that you communed with 20,000 people in person. And that was really special. What was something you learned that you will take with you after the gathering?
My planning brain answer is that it's probably really good to like think about food before you're hungry. But as far as like takeaways from things I learned, I don't know, it was really cool to hear Bierman talk about his book that we read in your study, the Day 7 Work and Play. And a lot of the Lutheran theology that we believe, like, it's like all encompassing. So you take both law and gospel, you take both, all these things. Like work and play, like it's all like you can live in Sabbath by doing both. Like it's not just one or the other at any certain time.
You're able to delight in God's creation with both. One another, like whether you're working or resting or whatnot. Yeah.
What about you, Deaconess? You should be answering.
Oh, yeah. Well, I did the memory one, right? So my memory, I'll say, is just communing with 20,000 people. Something I learned that I'll take with me. I really love the theme for this gathering, endure, based off of Hebrews 12, 1 through 3. I think it was just a good reminder of how Jesus endured the cross for me, and it was not, based on anything I have done, am doing now, or will do. And I know we are told that a lot, but sometimes it's good to just be immersed in that message for a whole week and let it soak in that way.
Yeah,
so I appreciated that.
That's really great. I mean, all the sessions I went to and all the speakers, they really just kept driving home the point, like, it's not you, it's God. God does the work. And I think that was really cool to be immersed in all week.
Yeah. Okay, what is a moment of endurance for you?
Oh, yeah. I think we all had to endure quite a bit. I mean, travel is hard, heat is hard, but we had to endure with the ladies in our group. We're trying to convince other congregations that we were from Dublin, Ireland, so we had to deal with, endure Irish accents for a good chunk of the trip.
That's a good answer. Yeah.
They got pretty good at it.
Yeah, they're
especially
much
after,
better.
Listening to the Ren Collective peeps talk.
Yeah.
So that's
a good answer. Yeah. I like what you said. I think these trips, a lot of times people describe these trips as like mountaintop spiritual experiences or whatever. And sure, there is that, but I don't think we always talk about like the ups and the downs of these trips, that they can be just, like you said, really hard on us physically and even emotionally. And I don't know, like I personally went through some bouts of insomnia over the trip, and that I had to endure. But it helped keep me awake, and I did eventually get some sleep. But yeah, so I think just some of that stuff was a challenge, but
I think it was
overall
fitting.
Was good.
It was really fitting to have the theme of endure in a city like New Orleans.
Yeah, that's true. And how many times did we say to one another, we just like, let's endure. It was like our
probably
running. Yeah. Well, I think that's all we were going to mention about the trip. So now we are going to hear from each of the youth, and they're going to answer these questions. All right, so tell me your name.
Hi, my name is Abby Sacco.
And where are you from?
I'm from Colorado, and I came with your guys' church to National Youth Gathering.
Great, and what church do you go to right now in
I
Colorado?
go to Faith Lutheran Church in Woodland Park, Colorado.
Okay, very good. So what is a memory that you'll never forget from the youth gathering?
I'm never going to forget seeing Ren Collective live in concert. It was such a powerful moment, and it really strengthened my faith.
That's so awesome. What is something you learned that you're going to take with you?
I learned that no matter how I look or what I do or the mistakes I make, God is always going to love me, and I'm always going to be his beloved child.
What is a moment of endurance that you had?
On the second day, I ended up hitting my head on a metal sign, and I had a migraine for like a lot of the week, so.
Oh no! Well, can you just end by telling St. John thank you for supporting?
Yeah, thank you so much for supporting me, and thank you for letting me join you guys. It was really an awesome experience.
Oh, well, we loved having you. Okay, so tell me your name.
Ava Rogers.
What is a memory that you'll never forget from the youth gathering?
Probably seeing Bethany Hamilton because I never got to see her, and that's always been my dream when I was little.
Awesome. What is something you learned that you're going to take with you from the gathering?
That I'm never alone because sometimes whenever I'm trying to talk to people, it feels like they're not listening to me. So then it makes me feel like, I don't know, I'm alone and stuff.
And what is a moment of endurance?
Probably riding the steamboat because I'm not a big fan of boats, but once I rode it, it wasn't that bad.
That's awesome. And can you end by just telling St. John thank you for supporting you
Yes,
guys?
thank you.
Okay, so tell me your name.
My name is CJ.
Okay, what was a memory you'll never forget?
A memory that I'm never gonna forget is 100% going in to a big stadium at the Superdome with 20,000 people all cheering, especially when we did the wave a couple of times and got that started. That's always my favorite part, especially when I go to soccer games. So that was definitely one of the best parts for me.
Cool. What is something that you learned that you're going to take with you?
Something that I learned that I'm gonna take with me is what it means to be kind of masculinity. I went to this sort of event that was about Andrew Tate versus Jesus, about masculinity, and it told us about how in the Bible, masculinity is defined by using your strengths to help others instead of using your strengths to kind of be alone and just be strong.
And what was a moment of endurance?
My moment of endurance this trip was just being tired all the time, but still being able to walk from place to place for these big events that were just so fun.
Yeah, how much walking do you think you did?
Probably about 10, 15 miles over the course of a couple of days.
It's a lot. All right, well, can you just end by telling St. John thank you for supporting you guys?
Thank you for supporting us, all of you, St. John.
All right, tell me your name.
My name is Lydia Roden.
What is a memory that you'll never forget?
Probably when we were on the boat and me, Ava, and Abby went to get the band to play Happy Birthday for Joey over the loudspeakers.
Yeah, so when was his birthday?
The 22nd.
Yeah, and he turned 16 then,
Yeah.
so great. What was something that you learned that you're going to take with you?
Probably one of the sessions that we went to, it was called 3 Lies About Your Worth, and it was for all the girls. And I learned that, I'm perfect in God's eyes, and I don't need to be loved by everybody.
That's awesome. And what was a moment of endurance from the trip?
Definitely walking to the Superdome in the heat. That was it was very hot there.
It's very hot, and there's a lot of people surrounding us too, right? Okay, well, can you end by just telling St. John thank you for supporting us?
Thank you for everything that St. John's done.
Okay, so tell me your name.
Joey Reedy.
What is a memory that you'll never forget?
Let's see. I got 3 right now. So
Okay.
one of them was getting to see Rent Collective do My Lighthouse. Second one was probably doing the escape room we did.
And that was on your birthday?
That was on my birthday, and then which leads into my third one, which is getting to spend the birthday with my group.
Well, how many times did people sing happy birthday to you on the trip?
I think a lot.
I'd say at least 4.
At least 4.
And what was something you learned that you're going to take with you?
So the third session we did was about masculinity, and I think the big takeaway from that one is how masculinity is being selfless when everyone is telling you to be selfish was the big takeaway from that one.
Cool. And what was a moment of endurance that you had?
Having to endure the girls sing happy birthday about 15 bazillion times.
Yeah, you don't really want that.
No.
You're a good sport about it, though.
Yeah, I was a good sport about it.
Can you end by just telling St. John thank you?
Thank you, St. John, for your prayers and support. It really meant a lot.
Great. Hey, St. John. I am back with Pastor Adam. So you just heard from the youth and their experiences at the gathering. To close out, we were going to bring up some fun facts.
Yeah, we're near the end of this trip, Deaconess, and so we thought we'd share some other statistics to close out our episode.
Yeah. So there have been 16 gatherings total, and this is the 5th one in New Orleans. And there are around 20,000 participants at each of these. The next one is going to be in...
Drum roll.
Drum roll.
I have no sound effects for this. Thank you, Chloe.
San Antonio, Texas.
Yay!
Yay! It'll be July 3rd through 7th.
Very exciting.
That'll be 2028. Let's see, what are some other fun facts? For our road games, how many license plates of different states did we end up finding?
I think we're still at 35, aren't we?
I think we're at 35.
Okay. I was hoping to find one during recording and just yell it out, but I haven't seen a new one.
I haven't seen one yet.
Still looking for Hawaii.
Yeah, still looking for Hawaii. How many ABC games have we played?
I have no idea.
I think we're like at 7 or 8 at this point. How much free swag did the youth get? 3 bags?
3 bags.
Okay.
Oh
yeah,
my.
Their backpacks are full of stuff.
Hey, Utah. Yeah. Do we have Utah?
Utah.
Hey, new one. We're on 36.
36. Woo. Great. Any other fun facts?
And I think one of the things that, I don't know if it's so clear in the episode, was we're walking the entire time. We're taking over the city in the New Orleans humidity. And so you leave the hotel, bright and early, and you're not back till very late at night into the convention center, into the Superdome, and with all the walking, what you're doing, 30 to 50 miles of walking across the gathering. And so just a very significant change of routine, and it wears on the group in different ways.
Exactly. It's well said. Well, I have some questions for you, Pastor. These are the questions that I asked the youth, and Chloe and I answered. So now we want to hear your answer. What is a memory?
I'm just so excited I saw Utah during... Go ahead.
Oh, Utah. Okay.
The license plate.
Well, I hope you have a different memory to share. What is a memory that you'll never forget?
I think my favorite memory of the gathering would be the final mass event. The focus of that mass event is on the resurrection. Thinking about the idea of endure in Hebrews, it comes right after chapter 11 about all these witnesses, all the saints of old, and the comfort we have in the resurrection of the body. And I really loved the mass event that final night. I think the gathering recorded all their sessions. And so, feel free to look up on YouTube or whatever. And just really enjoyed the final mass event. So that's probably my favorite takeaway, is looking to the hope of the resurrection and the defeat of death.
What is something that you learned that you will take with you?
Something I learned I'll take with you. I got to sit in on the session with Dr. Bierman. I have not read his book yet like you all have, and so it's nice to get some of his insights. It makes me excited to learn more about work and play, and his approach to the third commandment on the Sabbath day.
What is a moment of endurance?
A moment of endurance? I forget how tiring the youth gathering is. Even though we're veterans of it, and it's still no, there's really no free time. You get there and you're just going and you're going and you're going, and there's bed, and then next morning you go and you go. And so there's not really any sort of opportunity for pause, and that's always the challenge of, all right, we are in this sort of track for the next week.
Yeah, it's a little different than when we were in Houston. Wasn't it the convention center and the hotels were connected?
Sure, and that's a piece of it, is where you get your assignment. We still didn't
have that much free time, but here, the Superdome, the convention center, and the hotel are all, they're walking distance, but they're not close by. So you're very much packing up for the day and knowing that when you're back at the hotel, it's basically time for bed.
Yeah.
And with the mass events, and then the concert mass event plus after, and then we had the Ohio District event our last night, the nights are definitely very late.
Yeah.
And early mornings, and I think everyone did great, but yeah, it's definitely a lot of endurance.
Yeah, it's no time was really wasted during the gathering, for sure. Anything else, Deaconess?
No, I think that's everything. I hope that gives you guys a little taste of what we went through this past week, the gathering. And it just really was a huge blessing, I think, for all of us here. And we are very thankful to the church for their prayers, for their support, just helping us get to New Orleans.
Yeah, so just a huge thanks to the congregation for their support, for us to go to the gathering. I think this is a wonderful way to invest in our youth and the future of the church. And thanks to Olivia for holding down the fort on Sunday, and Brian Schneck for preaching. We did listen to his sermon in the car, So
we did.
yeah, so
And thanks to Chloe for taking a week off of work so she could come and be with us. That she cared for the whole group.
and a shout out to Rach for holding down the fort at home with the 4 kids. Looking forward to seeing them soon.
All right. Well, thanks, St. John, and looking forward to the next episode.
We're almost to Ohio. All right. Bye.